Okay, so two angles are supplementary, which means they add up to be 180 degrees. The measure of the larger angle is 60 more than twice the measure of the smaller angle. Find the measure of both angles. Okay, so I'm going to basically write out what they're saying. So the two angles add up to be 180. There's a larger and a smaller. So I'm going to go the larger plus the smaller equals 180. That's what it says, right? Two angles add up to be 180. That's the first equation, okay? And then the second equation is going to be the larger angle is L equals 60 more than 60 added to twice the smaller, 2S. That making sense? I'll write that right here. L equals 60 added to 2S. How are we doing? Remember, whenever you have two letters, you need two equations. So we have larger and small, L and S. So two letters, we got to have two equations. The first one is they add up to be 180, L plus S equals 180. The second one, I just took it directly from the words, right? Larger is, L equals 60 more than 60 added to twice smaller, 2S. That good right there? Now, we need to solve. Oh, by the way, yeah, I know what I want to say. What if it said less? What if this said 60 less than twice the smaller? Remember, that would be the 60 would be subtracted at the back. I just want to remind you about in case you have that version. So if it said 60 less than, remember that always that 60 goes at the back. Remember that. Like if I said 60 less than 100, that would mean the 100 in the front, the 60 at the back. I just want to remind you that the phraseology less than means you're subtracted at the back, doesn't it? So mine doesn't have that, but you might get a random version that has that. Remember, that's a common mistake. 60 less than would mean the 60 is subtracted at the back. All right, that's not what we have here. Let's just move on with where we're at. All right, so how do we solve two equations at the same time? Well, I think the easiest thing to do here is just to grab this right here and plug it in right there for L, right? I'm going to plug one equation into the other. Why? Well, because the top equation says L equals 60 plus 2S. So I can plug in for L what it's equal to, what it's the same as, 60 plus 2S. So right there, I'll plug in 60 plus 2S plus S equals 180. By the way, you could use X and Y, but I found it's easier to use meaningful letters. That way you know what they are when you're done. If you just get done with X or Y, you might not remember, is that the larger, the smaller? What is that? So, well, I guess one's going to come out bigger and one smaller, huh? So anyway, either way. So let's keep going. What am I going to do next? Well, right here, 2S, and this is really 1S, right? Is going to make 3S. Like that. Okay, keep going. Subtract 60 from both sides. And we get 120. And then divide by 3. And we get S equals 40. So the smaller angle is 40, at least for mine. The smaller angle is 40. And now, you know, once we get one answer, we just plug that in anywhere you want. Plug in S equals 40 anywhere you want to get the other answer. So probably the easiest thing, I'll just grab this right here. L plus S is 180. Or we could just subtract from 180, huh? Because we know the total is 180. It doesn't matter. There's a million options at this point. So I'll plug it in right there. 40 is 180. Subtract 40 on both sides. Boom and a boom. Bring this down. And so L is 140, of course. In the end, we ended up subtracting from 180, right? So there it is. So we found the larger, we found the smaller. Two equations, two letters. Whenever you have two letters, you need two equations. There we go.